built in my time here with those guys.
Is it funny to you that there is kind of a lasting bond to Indiana too, because your sister's coming here starting next season?
Yeah, next season she's coming here. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll be back here. All the coaches, Coach Schilling, I feel like I'm really close with. Coach Cliff, the whole coaching staff really all, treated me really well in my time here. And the younger guys, it'll be cool to come back and see them. I plan on playing next year, so it'll probably be tough to see a basketball game. But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be back for volleyball games and be back around the community, and it's a special place for sure.
Johnny wants to coach once he leaves here. What kind of coaching qualities do you see in him at the same game as you got to know him?
Yeah, I mean, him and I have a lot of conversations just after games and after practice about kind of what's going on, and just picking his brain. He's definitely got a coaching mind, coaching mentality, and I'm sure like you guys have seen all the same stuff just interviewing him and talking to him. And he's just a basketball guy. Really, he loves it. Watches like every college basketball game. So I think he's going to have a great coaching career, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what he does as a coach.
It seems like his friendship specifically has been really instrumental for you just throughout your time at IU. I think it was in the fall you mentioned him or his family, they all invited you over for a cookout or something like that. How much has he kind of helped you with getting acclimated to the campus and the program and all that?
Yeah, I mean, his family's, I consider them family. They had me over me and my dad actually went over there for Thanksgiving. It's cool to have that when I've lived in California my whole life, come out to the Midwest. It's cold, it's a different place for me. It's cool to just kind of have Johnny and his family who've been really nice. I've gone to his brother's basketball games. Yeah, it's cool, I feel like I'm at home out here having them.
What kind of emotional lift does he provide on the bench for this team?
I mean, you guys see it day in and day out. Just his celebrations and his talk, his communication, the excitement that he brings. Because, I mean, like I said, we faced some adversity this season, but I think that's one thing that's been consistent is his energy and his attitude, day in and day out. And yeah, it's fun to be around. Definitely, you need a guy like that if you're going to have a successful team.
He's kind of more so than most. Maybe when you were looking at options to transfer to, you probably heard a lot about Jawan just kind of being one of the bigger players as part of the senior class. What were some of the things you heard about him before he came to Indiana? I guess how have you reacted to seeing that, in practice and in games this season?
Yeah, I mean, above all, Jawan's just a great guy. Like he's welcomed me, made me feel really welcome. Coming into a situation where he's the guy that scores a lot of points and carries the load a lot. Just as a player, you don't know what to expect really with a guy like that. And, from day one, he's just been a great guy. And aside from that, he's an awesome competitor just every day in practice. And you guys obviously see it in the game. So yeah, he's an awesome guy.
As a senior class, how has this group handled the adversity of this season?
I think we've handled it well. As a group, we're pretty young, so it's kind of, as the older guys, it's our job to kind of move those guys along. And yeah, I mean, you guys have seen in the last couple of games that the younger guys have kind of come around and they're all competing every day in practice now and every day in the games. So yeah, I think we've done a good job, and I guess when we make the tournament and what we do in the tournament, that'll really say how good of a job we've done. So,
what did it look like when you talked about Jawan kind of making an effort to make sure you felt welcome, kind of help you settle in? Just what did that look like, and maybe what's Jawan more generally like, sort of away from basketball?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's an awesome guy, and just like in the locker room and stuff. I came in late in the summer, and that could be kind of weird because the team had already kind of, formed a little bit of a relationship, and I was just kind of this guy that came in out of nowhere, really. And I don't know, he just always kind of encouraged me to talk more and encouraged me to say more things, and it's tough to really explain, but it's just kind of something you feel in the locker room and on the court and just day to day. So.
You mentioned just the adversity of the season. Just how have you handled it personally? Obviously, you were a lot more productive early on in the season, kind of went through a lull there. Just how did you sort of handle that and get through it?
I mean, like I said, I came here with the goal to help the team make it to the NCAA tournament and succeed in the tournament. so that was kind of always just my mindset day in and day out. Playing in a league like this, it's been kind of a crazy experience for me. Just the daily competitiveness it takes to succeed in a league like this. And in that sense, I was kind of like one of the younger guys just coming in. So I think personally, yeah, like you said, I was producing more earlier. But I feel like I can contribute every day in practice, even if I'm not playing in the games, just with my attitude and my effort. And I think I've done a good job, maintaining that, despite how many minutes I play or how many points I score.
How do you compare the WCC playing there for a while now, coming out to the Big Ten? How do you compare those two?
The WCC, I think, is a better league than people give it credit for. It's definitely probably a little bit top heavy, but watching this year, you see a lot of the teams in the past that haven't been as successful have started to win a lot of good preseason games and have had more success. When you have, Gonzaga's #1 in the country, so obviously that speaks for itself. But then you got BYU and St. Mary's, who both have had a lot of success over the last few years, and I think the other teams have started to come on. But in my playing experience, you can't take a night off in the Big Ten. Every team you play is bringing it every night and have really good players. So it's different, but the WCC is a good league too.
Have you found the officiating to be a little bit more relaxed with the post play here?
That's a good question. Yeah, probably. I'd say not a whole lot. It's pretty. I'd say it's pretty consistent for the most part. But I think it's a more physical league. Definitely, the bigs are just bigger in general, and so I think the refs maybe have a tougher job with that because there's a lot of physicality. But they do a good job in both leagues, really, trying to compare them.
We kind of asked you a bit about the adversity this season. Zach mentioned a minute ago that him and Juwan kind of spoke up a bit more after the Minnesota game. Just being a guy in the locker room, along with kind of seeing how younger players reacted, what was the response to two guys who kind of lead more by example, doing some more stuff with their voice?
Yeah, Zach, we've talked about Juwan, but Zach's another guy that really just every day, every possession in practice, he's going as hard as he can. And I think that's more important than really anything you can say, because as a younger guy, you see that, and that makes you want to play harder because it's his last year, and you want to bring your effort for him. So